So, hello, folks. Pastor Rocky Branch, Spruce Pine First Baptist Church. Today is day 236. 236 today. A little while later on, we'll be going with a new crew at the church. New people coming in. Don't know how many will be there, but there'll be some. And we're supposed to have around 100 before the week is out. Probably most of them coming in. Some came in last night. More will be coming in this morning. So, we're starting back again, doing the same thing again, like Groundhog's Day I mentioned before, every day. One of the things that we think about in times like this and these devotions and things of that nature that we do, we only do them to try to encourage and strengthen people in their faith, to learn more about the Word and more about what God needs us to do to fulfill our calling on His mission. Don't forget that. Our calling on His mission. You see, last night at the prison, I talked about, a bunch of stuff, but one of the things I talked about was the prodigal son. And the prodigal son, when he ended up in the hog pen, the prodigal son had to realize not where he was, but why he was there. In life, that's a very important statement for us to understand, not where we are, but why we're where we are. In John 4, Jesus is talking to this woman at the well, this Samaritan woman. And, she's been having a difficult life with relationships. Christ tells her, who she is, what she's about. And, she immediately, when Jesus challenged her, she wanted to debate, or at least to try to prove a point of spiritual growth or whatever, and a lot of people, when you're challenged by stuff, it's a human nature to sort of try to rebuttal that in some way. And that's what the woman says here. She says, you all worship there, we worship here, yada, yada, whatever. Had nothing to do with the subject matter. She was at the well. We know where she was, but why was she there? What was her point of being there? She had no fellowship. People would not spend time with her because she'd been married so many times and she was living with the guy at the time. And so it's not necessarily as important as where you are today. It's important of why you're there. What's the point of the purpose? And I mentioned that to the prisoners last night, about 150 of them, we need to understand, we know where we are. There's no mystery on that. We need to know why we're here and do something about it. And that's a very important thing. So in your life, I'll ask you, you know where you are. Obviously, I hope you do. Why are you there? What is the point? What got you there, and what decision do you have to make to stay there or move from where you are to where you need to go? And that's an important factor. Jesus says the hour is going to come, when she talked about locations of worship and this, that, and the other. And Jesus said the time is going to come that you're going to worship God in spirit and in truth. Why? Well, because verse 24 of chapter 4 of John says God is a spirit. And it's a spiritual issue. And wherever you are today, and we're speaking spiritually now, we talked to the prisoners last night. They knew where they were. They're in prison, obviously. But why are you there? Okay, so we talked from the physical to the spiritual. So you know where you are physically. Do you know why you're where you are? You know what purpose you're there for. Let's talk about spiritual. Where are you spiritually? Do you know? And do you know why you're there? There's a purpose and a cause. And I think it's important for us to look at that in such a strong way, because God expects us to be about His business, not our business, but His business. Think about that. I'll see you in the breakfast line, or at least whatever. God bless you. See you soon.